Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is BD, but you can call me Auntie BD. So a few days ago, I made this video, 9 fashion items every African lady should own. And I had such huge response. So why not? Let me be that African auntie. How are you today? I'm going to be making three easy gele you can tie all by yourself. So wherever you are in the world and you are invited to an African party, you don't have to pay huge to tie your gele. These are simple igele style you can tie all by yourself. And guess what? They are not simple at all. You will make a statement while tying them. And this is one of them. I tie this very easy. All the styles are very easy to make. Save this video in case of later because there are three different ones. You might decide to alternate them for another party. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And when you share your emotion, whatever you're feeling, like, comments, it helps boost the video. Please encourage me by doing that. Thank you so much. This first gele is the simplest of them all, and it is called the Pilis Kapi gele. You need like old newspaper from your house or cardboard paper. If you are using cardboard paper because it is hard already, you don't need to fold. But we usually tie this a tie with an old newspaper. I'm using this brown paper here. So you fold it to give you that hard form in order to create the pillar or the form that you want around your head. So I'm folding it now, and the paper has to go around your head, leaving a little space. Just make sure you leave some space for you to tie the tie at the back, because if it's too hard at the back, you won't be able to tie it firm. So it will go around your head, leaving like 4 to 5 inches behind for you to be able to tie. You fold it to the extent that you get a width of about 4 inches, or as high as you want it or as low as you want it. But this is 4 inches. I just folded it to, and I want mine to be quite high, so that's why I'm using 4 inches. The next you do is to grab your gele or your hair tie, your African hair tie. Divide it into two. Make sure that you are holding from the center because we are going to tie from the center. I divided into two just to get the middle of the gele. Then I put my folded paper in the middle of that gele, and then I begin to wrap it around. I wrap the gele or the hair tie around the paper just twice, just to cover the paper so nobody sees it. I chose this white gele because I want us to see how versatile the African gele can be. You can use it, even style it, even into a Western um, outfit. Because of what I'm wearing, that's why I chose this white. You see it at the end. So you put the gele over your head and then tie it to the back from your forehead and tie it to the back, leaving that cardboard, the part that has been held firm with the cardboard in front of your head. You had just to make sure it is well seated and you have that erected form that you want. That's the reason why we employed the use of the paper in the first place. You use your hand and begin to adjust, make sure every part of the gele is well framed. Tie tightly to fit your head so it doesn't fall off. Don't tie too tight though, so that you don't hamper blood flow to your head. You feel a headache if you do that. You tie the second time, and that's all. You can just leave this remaining part of this gele hanging out. Just pull it out and let it hang out like that, and you're good to go. But if you're not as dramatic as I am, just hold it like so, like what I'm doing, hold to the edge, and then leave one of them hanging, then wrap it around, then pin. I'm grabbing my pin so, and then you pin. You can leave it like this and you're good to go. Otherwise, if you think you want it smaller, then you hold the other part of the gele again and wrap it again around, then pin. Nevertheless, you can tie it any style you like, anything that will come out beautiful. I just chose this style. There are different ways to tie it at the back. Choose any beautiful bow that you like, that you think will come out really, really nice. This is just a simple rosy kind of bow I'm trying to make at the back, and I think will come out very pretty. This is how simple this gele looks like, and trust me, you can wear it to anywhere and you can style it with any of the African attire and you will look good to go. That's it. Very beautiful. Now you see why I chose this white gele. I'm styling it with this basic white shirt and this kaftan. Our second gele is the rose gele. For this gele, you divide gele into three. We are going to use one third, about one third of this gele. That means one part will be longer than the other part. Then you put the gele over your head from the back forward. You know, the other one we tied from the front backward. This one we are tying from the back forward. Then you begin to pull your gele together in the front to make sure that you have a good hold of it and it should be defined. The definition will be pretty. One part is longer, the other part is shorter. Then you tie tightly, like so. Then you tie the second time. You see now that one part of this gele is longer and the other part is shorter. The next you do is grab the longer part of the gele. Then you try to put it around, take it around the smaller part. But you have to make sure that you take it around in a very beautiful pattern like this, because we're trying to create that rose, that petal kind of look or impression. So we're going to make sure we don't hold too tight, but the bottom part of the gele, the bottom part of the long gele. How do I explain this for goodness sake? Okay, now just watch me what I'm doing. The bottom part will be tight, then the upper side will be loose. Then you just try as much as possible to create something that looks like a rose while you are pulling on the bottom side to make sure that it's tight. Then the upper side, you see how loose that side is. Then you now get to the one tip of that longer part of the gele. You pick your pin and then this is like a rat race, and then you pin it into any part of the gele that can make it hold firm. After that, you can use your pin and begin to pin any other part that seems to be falling apart. Just use your pin is your best friend for tying a gele. Every African woman should own a box of pin in her house. The next you do is that try to put it in place. Then you hold the smaller one. You see the small one now, you hold the two edge of the small one and begin to turn it around like so. Turn it. You see me turning it. Turn it like that. Turn it. Try to make it as small as possible. Turning it around. Then you use your pin. You turn this edge over the other edge. And then you pin them, hiding the edge. But that rolled part of your igele will form like a rose at the end. I don't know if that makes sense. I chose this white gele because of what I'm wearing, but I wish it was other color because the light reflection is not making it defined. Then you use your pin and begin to pin everything in place. Use your hands, design your rows, make sure everything comes out nice. Just basically simple. Your hands will do the remaining work. Anything that's not in place, you use your pin to pin it down. Then you start. Look at me, how pretty I look. Fine, the Africans are beautiful. The last in our Gele time festival is this Bo Igele year. So for this Gele, you divide your Gele into two equal parts. I call it Igele or Gele. Igele is what the Niger Deltans call it, and I am Niger Delta. I'm used to calling it Igele. That's why you hear me say Igele. The Yoruba calls it Gele. Niger Delta call it Gele. So you divide into two and put it over your head from from front backward. Then the next is that you try as much as possible to create at least one pleat. You see that one pleat. If you can do two, do two. But start by tying at least one pleat. You can see one pleat there. That means I folded the gele in front to create one pleat. If you want to do, this is the simplest way. If you can find two pleats, then you pleat it two. Then you tie at the back. Now for this gele, because we are going to continue pleating, you don't tie it very tight. Just tie it like loosely so that you'll be able to pull your gele from the back. You see, I'm trying to loosen it now to make sure that it's not freer, so it's not too tight, so that I have enough space to pleat. Okay, so that's my first pleat, like I said before, or my second pleat rather. And then I entered into the gele because it's loosed. It's easy for me now to pull and try to create another pleat like so. So this is going to take, it's not that difficult. Once the gele is not that tight, you'll be able to pull from the back forward and continue to pleat and create as much pleat as you want. For this gele, I created 4 pleats. Just take your time, use your mirror and begin to pull and create as much pleat forward as you can. The pleat that's what gives it that defined, more polished look. Yeah. So that's my 4 pleats that I created. Then now you can now tighten your igele. You can now pull it and tight. You remember I said don't make it loose, don't make it tight. When you're done defining your pleats, you can now pull both side and tighten. The next you do is you hold one edge of the remaining part of your gele that you tied at the back. Try to form some kind of definition, pleat definition to the front. Let the pleats be over each other, not flat, but over each other, on top each other, like you're trying to form like a zigzag. You're folding papers into zigzag, but on top each other. That's what you do. Try as much as possible to make sure that it's beautiful. It doesn't have to be perfect. Gele doesn't have to be perfect. Just the beauty is the imperfection. Then you tie it to the front, like so. Tie firmly, then you tie the second time. So the next you do is try to make sure that those pleats are well defined. Use your hand to make sure that you make them more defined. Arrange them using your mirror. It's going to take like not much time. Just make sure everything is put together and defined. Then you see the shorter. After you finish tying, one of the gele edge is usually longer than the other side. So let that the tip, I mean to say, one of the edge or the tip of the gele is longer. Let that longer side be loose. Then let the shorter side, oh my God, let the shorter side be loosed. Then hold the longer part like this. You pick your pin, pull it backward behind the pleat you created, like so, and pin it down. A, B, C. When you're done with this side, go over to the other side and do exact the same thing. One, two, three. After that, just use your pin and pin anywhere you think is not in place. Pin it down in place, adjust with your hands. The word is creative. Be creative about your gele. Everything about gele is about creativity. So express yourself through your gele. Be creative, style it the way you want, pin down, just do beautiful things with it. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe now. Just under this video, you see an inscription that says subscribe. Click on it. A bell sign will appear. Click on it also so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you so much. Stay beautiful and healthy.